morning, it's Lynette with Charmed Grammy Crochet. How are you doing today? I'm doing pretty good. It is 2:30 in the afternoon. It's cloudy. It's chilly today. I'm wearing it's August. I mean, it's like August, I don't know, end of August, well, it's not the 26th yet. So today must be the 25th. Tomorrow's my son's birthday. He was born August 26th. That's tomorrow, Tuesday. So this is Monday the 25th, and this is surprisingly cold weather for August in northern Ohio. It's like, I don't think it was supposed to be higher than 62 today. Feels warmer than that, but like, I'm wearing a sweatshirt. So that's kind of interesting. You would think it's, usually you're sweating to death in August, but we did a few things. My husband changed the oil in the golf cart. I painted some outdoor furniture that he stripped for me. And now that's drying. And so I thought, well, I want to get started on my next square rectangle for my Boggy Grafgan. It's the fishing pole, the line, and the fish. I know I need a lot of blue. When I was getting out stuff for, what did I do with them? Here they are. When I was getting out stuff for the garage sale that we just had here at the campground a couple days ago, I found some clothespins, and people have been telling me in the comments, use clothespins for your graphs, you know, for your as your bobbins. And I thought, okay, I'll give that a try. So I know I'm gonna need blue, and I thought, well, we'll just chat while I figure out how you do these clothespins. I'm gonna assume, you know what they say about that you start with like pinning, because then they say you can pin your clothespin to your work so it's not flopping all around. So I'm like, okay, let's try that. So I guess you're just going to wind around the clothespin. We'll figure out if this works after I make some of them. So I thought, well, I'm going to start these, see how this goes. But this could be a really nice tippy trick if it works out well. I don't know how far you got to, you know, I don't know how much you can wrap on a clothespin and still make it work, you know, as far as pinning goes. But I know that on this graph I'm going to start with brown, but I've got a lot because you start in this corner. So I'm going to start with brown, but only one, and then I'm going to do blue and brown, blue and brown, blue and brown until I get to the white. So, but there's a lot of blue in this. I don't know how many, I don't have any idea of how to figure out how many bobbins of each color you're going to need. I don't know if there's a way to figure that out. My graph knowledge is just not that good. But it's still clippable. I don't know, do you like wind around this way too so it doesn't fall off? I'm going to try that one time. As long as you can still clip it to the project, I guess you're good, right? I'm going to go in between the clip once in a while to not allow it to fall off the end. And we'll see how that goes. If you guys have suggestions on how you do these bobbins, let me know. But I'm just going to do it like, and then I've got my handy hair clippy clip. I totally love hair clippy clips for yarn. And I'm going to clip my yarn together and make the first bobbin. So that's going to be the first blue. I've also pulled a bin out. I'm keeping the Dunn's rectangles in the bin, and I'm putting my bobbins in this, my clippy clip holder. So I'm going to put the bobbins that I've made. I already have a little bit of a white bobbin with a scrap of yarn on there. A little bit of a white bobbin. And I'm just putting them in here along with the done graphs. And so when I am done working on it today, I'm just going to put everything in the bin, including my pattern, and the yarn I'm keeping in a bag, the skeins. So I don't have to pull the yarn out every time if I've made some bobbins already. If I have the bobbins made, then I can just grab the bin and everything should technically stay nice and neat in the bin. This is my plan of attack. I don't know, again, if I'm using, this is Karen 1 pound for the brown. I don't know if this is like really the way you're supposed to do this, but this is what I'm doing. And if you're trying graphs, I'm just gonna, you know, let you know what I'm learning as I go. And so this is what I'm doing on this. And for those that are avid graph ganners, particularly those of you that talked about using bobby pin or clothespins, let me know if I'm doing this job right. Because I can foresee that this is going to come off the end if I don't like wrap a couple every now and then in there to hold it in place as you go. And I'm sure you don't want to wrap it too tight. I'm hoping that I only need one bobbin of the brown and the white to go up the pole. I'm hoping that's all I'll need. I'm going to need several of the blue, I'm sure. And I know I only need one bobbin for, you know, for black, because there's just one black dot for the eye. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see what happens. So I don't think I need to make this bobbin really huge, but I think huger than this. And I know there'll be more brown, so I'm not really concerned about that. And I think I'm going to end it here. Uh-oh. I'm going to put this through here because it's wanting to fall off the end. It's the first color I need, so I'm not even going to put a clippy clip on it. I'm just going to start with a little bit of a tail. Throw that in the bag. I don't need to do the black. I've got the start of a white, so I'm going to use that up before I make before I do another white. And then I'm going to use this green. Isn't that awesome? I don't know what that green is, but I kind of liked it. I don't know where I got it from even. It might be, I think I got this green from the lady that I was going to do that I was doing the over the weekend, from that lady. I think that's where this green came from. Because it's folded the way she has her yarn folded. But I thought, oh, that's a beautiful fish green. I don't know why the fish has to be green, but I guess it doesn't. I could use any color, but it's green on here, so I'm just trying to make it easy on myself to follow what I'm doing. Now, I saw one of my friends, Bree, also known as Breecock. She did the smiley face afghan. Oh my god, is it adorable? And she did it in neon colors, like bright yellow, and then she made the star or the heart. She did the one with the heart for eyes, and the hearts are bright pink, and oh, it's so cute. I so love it. I'm like, yay, Breecock. I don't know if that's gonna count. I guess it counts as a, I don't know, does it count as a graph or a smiley in my count when she sends it in or turns it in? I'm not sure. I'm not really sure. We'll have to figure that out when we unbox it, and then I'll ask people. Maybe both. It could count as both, right? What do you think? The graph gan smileys, I think, should count as both, because they are graph gans and they are smiley faces, and it's not like it's a competition. How many graph gans ended up being made? And, you know, of those graph gans, they can be smiley faces. Sure, why not, right? I think so. I think we'll count it as both, but let me know what you guys think. You know, in the comments. I'm sure during the Boggy Lives we can talk about that too. And again, I don't know how big to make this green. I'm hoping that one green should be enough, unless I don't make it big enough, which I could foresee that because I have no clue how much you need. You know, I don't have the experience to say, oh, you're only going to need this much green for that little fishy guy. Because I've never really paid attention to how far a color, you know, a color goes when you're doing just like a blanket or anything else. How many rows do I get out of a color or whatever? So I'm going to use a clippy clip on this end. I'm going to make it this big because it's feeling a little bulky on here. I got a lot more on the blue one, I think, but it doesn't matter really. So there we go. That's what I'm doing with this. I have, you know, like I said, the start of a white, brown, blue, and I got these little blacks. So I'm going to be good with that, I think. And I'm going to put this back in my scrap bin of colors for Boggy Blankets. And if I know I'll have to make more blue, but if I have to make more of the others, that's completely fine. And I'm doing a 6mm hook with that. So we're going to keep that baby out. This is what I keep. This is my go-to throw in my bag because it's not, it's a metal pencil case and it just like has a little bit of a tug to open it. But I really like this, just as a tip and a trick. I really like the metal to throw in my project bags, whatever bag I'm using. Whatever bag I'm taking with me if I'm going somewhere, I throw this in there and nothing's gonna come out. And like my scissors, I have little baby scissors in here, like, and they got a really pointy, see if you can, oh, where's the camera? There we go. It's a really sharp point on that. It wants to focus on my face. Let me cover my face up. There we go. It's really sharp. Ow, ow, ow. It's not gonna fall out. I have several different kinds of darning needles. They're not going to poke through. So I really like the metal. I can put a pen in there, and if it leaks, it's going to not leak on my project bag or in my project. So I always try to use that metal one. I have canvas and whatever pouches too, but that metal one is like my to-go. It fits in all my bags really easy. I have a nice big velour zippered pouch too that I keep like a whole set of hooks in, but these are the ones that are going with my projects right now. So I have I'll just show you my 6mm that I have taken out already because I'm going to crochet with it. I have a 4.5 because that's what I'm using on, I'll show it to you. I brought it over here, didn't I? Well, where did it go? Oh, I forgot I changed the bag that it's in. I swapped out some bags. So this is living in my Boggy Creek Blanket bag right now. I love this bag. It is an awesome, awesome bag. And the Boggy Creek sticks out on us, you know, just pops so well. The Swag Shop logo, Swag Shop link is in the description box below. But I'm using the 4.5mm hook on my crochet along with Juan. This is the spring crochet along he did. And I'm on, I think I just finished round 31 or 32. So I have added a round or two since I last showed it to you. And this is the round where you put like you're making the, it's supposed to be a flower between this round and this round. Do you get it? Can you see it? Oh, there, closer. So that's a little flower. So I put the top on the flower in the last round, at the bottom of the flower in the round before that. So that's where I'm at. That's 31, 32, I think I'm starting on round 33, but I did that couple rounds, round or two yesterday, and I am using, in case you don't know, in case you're new, if you're new, hey, thanks for coming in. I'm using Big Twist Vista. It's a one-weight yarn, 705 yards. It's cotton acrylic polyamide, and the color is called Sunrise, and it is doing really beautiful justice to Juan's creation here. So anyway, that's I'm using 4.5 millimeter. I couldn't decide which size hook to use on that, and it was like, people are saying 4, people are saying 5, so I went down the middle, went with the 4.5. I am doing a crochet along, or no, I'm making out of 3 weight scraps. I'm making granny squares to put into a sweater, and I am using my 5.5 millimeter hook with that one, so that's in here. And I am using my 7 millimeter. These are all clover hooks. That's the hook I use. I really haven't even tried too many other hooks because I like my clover. So I'm using my 7 millimeter on my Luck of the Draw blanket, which I don't think I showed you guys the new addition to the color. Now it kind of looks like a red, white, and blue blanket. But it is red, cream, and blue so far. But I am using the colors of the camp cabin colors that Boggy Creek has, which are red, green, blue, and yellow. And then because I needed 5 colors, I'm using the cream as the 5th color. I'm not using a main color on this blanket. I totally did not do the main color. Skipping that, and I'm doing 8 rows of this V-stitch shell stitch thing. It's upside down actually. It goes this way. And it's just a 2-row repeat. 1 row is V and 1 row is shell. And you start with a half double crochet row, and then it's just V and shell, V and shell, V and shell. You put the shell, a 3 double crochet shell in the top of the V, and then you put the V in the middle crochet of the double crochets. Creative Grandma has a tutorial on it, and she calls it the V-stitch shell stitch on tutorial number 231. I stole it from a girl on TikTok who just, had made something, and I'm like, oh, that's really pretty. So I freeze framed and expanded and said, oh, that's a V and a 3 and a thing. I can do that. So I'm using Big Twist in the big balls. I have these big balls of Big Twist. Yep, I bought some when, stuff when Joann's was going on sale. Plus, I bought a lot of Joann's anyway. So, anyway, that's in here. Then I have several different darning needles and a bunch of stitch markers. I like these kind of stitch markers because I have a whole bunch and people sent me, and I love them. Just different, really cool stitch markers. But I tend to get them stuck in my yarn. So, as a marker to hold, this is the front side. I like to use these. But for a marker that I'm going to be like moving and taking out, and actually, I tend to always get these kind of like, they'll have all these pretty little things on it, but something will end up getting stuck in the yarn, and maybe I just don't take the right kind of care to put it in there. I don't know. But do you guys have that problem with some stitch markers? I always do. So that's the kind of stuff that lives in here. And right now, my elephant, this is from Nancy. She got me these. Aren't they so cute? Elephant paper clips, because I have not only the graph, but I am graphically challenged, and so I need the little squares to tell me what to do. I even make, because I get lost, I cannot follow. And Trish told me, she said, hold your paper this way as you move it up. But I still get lost. I get lost when it gets to be in the really middle of it. Which is why on my ladybug, did I show you guys the finished ladybug? I don't know that I did. So my finished ladybug, she has this bad right here. Like it's supposed to be just straight down, but hers is a little curved there. It's okay. These are kids that are sick. They'll understand if she's got a little bit of a deformity, or she's just reaching out, looking in a different direction. But I got lost on which direction I was going or something. I don't know. And so she's got a boo-boo. But I didn't notice it until I was like way up here. And then I'm like, what's wrong with that? I wasn't pulling it all back out because her antenna can be going out and feeling around over there. Nobody really has to know that it's not supposed to be like that. So don't tell. I won't tell, you don't tell. Okay, I told. But you know what? Nobody's perfect. And neither is she. And I'm okay with it because I still think she's cute. Even with her little deformity. Or her ability to reach out and show you what's going on. So even though I can, and I mark it off as I go, which is probably another reason that it's a really slow go for me, but I really am enjoying them, and I like to sit at the table and do it. It makes it way easier. I can imagine if you're doing a big blanket, it would be, you know, with a lot of color changes, it would be totally nuts to not be at a table. But when I was doing the, I will say, when I was doing the kitty cat, the cat's meow, which was I guess it was a graph game, but on that one, it wasn't corner to corner, it was straight across, and it would tell you 17 main, 17 variegated, 17 multicolor, 17, and it would tell you step by step like this, step by step. And I got lost in that graph a couple times too. And I don't know why my middle wasn't always in the middle. I don't understand what the hell I was doing there, but sometimes it wasn't. I didn't find it any easier, but people have told me I can do this that way, go back and forth. It's just every square is like 4 stitches, 4 double crochets across, and just go across, which on this kind of graph game, it might be easier than like the cat's meow because it was a bigger blanket. But I used a canvas bin and put all of the bobbins, but they were big because you only use 2 colors, so you had a lot of bobbins, but they're bigger because it was, like I said, 2 colors. And I could do it in the car, and I would just like set the basket on the floor at my feet and pull the color up, and then moved them around in the bin. So that helped me organize for the cat's meow blanket. So that's why I thought if I had a bin, and this time I'm using this hard bin, maybe I can keep it less, but it's not that bad because they're small. So that's where I'm at with this. And I'm gonna, I don't know, set it over here. I'm gonna set them over there for right now and put the Boggy Creek on the floor. And so I showed you, I did want to show you my progress, my little bit of progress on the crochet along with Juan that, he's done like 45 other blankets since then, but I'm still working on it. He did his with a 4-weight yarn, and I'm using a 1-weight, and so it's going to be way smaller, but I hope that it ends up being big enough to use as a summer throw that I'll be able to use next summer or during the winter, because we're going to be wintering in Florida. So, a cotton lightweight throw, I'm hoping. If it's not big enough, then I'm just going to pick his brain for more stitches to go. And then I wanted to show you my Look at the Draw, which comes out on Thursdays with Trish, Mama Swift, and Jaxie, Creations by Jax. They're doing those on Thursdays at 10 o'clock my time, which is Eastern Standard. So if you're not, of course, we're only on row. This will be week 4 out of 10 coming up. So if you want to participate, you still can. The swag shop has now made over $1,000 for Boggy Creek, and that'll be listed in the description box below too. The bags, and now there's a in a June bag in memory of her. They're selling a lot of those too. The bags I know are $20 with free shipping, so that's kind of awesome. So I think I'm gonna order one of those, and I want to order an orange T-shirt. I have the purple hoodie, and I have a pink T-shirt. I think I might order an orange long sleeve T-shirt. I think. I can't decide if I want to do long or short sleeve. I know I want to do orange. I don't have a lot of orange clothes. Maybe none. So I want to get some because I like orange. So then I think I got you caught up on what I've been doing. And I'm going to get started on this, and we'll see how far I can get on this for a little while this afternoon before dinner. So I got a couple hours. I can get a few rows in, I'm sure. Okay, thanks for watching and hanging out and helping me with the bobbins. If you have any tips and tricks, feel free to let me know. I appreciate it. And I'm going to get started now, so I'm going to talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.